What's up guys, how's it going? It's John, and in this video I'm going to show you some gameplay and do an unboxing of City Hunter and the Caverns of Death. This isn't going to be a review per se because I am co-owner of CollectorVision Games, the company that did this. I'm also one of the project leads on this particular game. So I have kind of a unique perspective. I didn't think it would be appropriate for me to say, hey, this is a great game. But I'll say this, I am very proud of the way the game turned out. We've been working on it for over 3 years. We did a Kickstarter back in the day. Game development just takes a lot of time. That's one thing I learned about making new games. It takes a lot of time, especially for classic consoles like the Super Nintendo. There aren't many dev tools available for the Super Nintendo. That's why you don't see many new Super Nintendo games. You might see old game like Super Nintendo games that were unreleased, that maybe they finished up, or you might see some hacks. But as far as a game like this, where it's from scratch, everything's original, graphics, sound, production, you don't see many new games like this. So I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to see it through the end. And yeah, so it's been really fun ride. It's been a crazy ride, roller coaster for sure. So let's do an unboxing. I'll show you kind of what's included with this as well, and show you some gameplay and go from there. Okay, so it does come shipped with this plastic case, which is nice to protect it. It doesn't come sealed, and then we did that kind of for a reason. A lot of people like the game sealed, but for us, it's all about playing the game, and we have sealed games in the past. We figured it was just better to bring it protectively for display purposes, and for those who just want to buy it and open it and don't want to not open it just to keep it sealed, right? So there are various limited edition versions as well that were available, that are no longer available, that were only available through the Kickstarter. There was a gold version, which only 75 copies were produced, and there's a blue version as well that was limited. But I'm going to show you the standard version here. It is available in PAL regions too, for those who live in PAL regions. It is available, and we are doing a Super Famicom Japanese port, and that's going to be done in Japanese. So it's taking a little bit more time to do that because we're getting the translations done, but we're very close to getting that out as well. So with this, for a limited time, we're including a couple cards. These are Garbage Pail Kids kind of style cards. Joe Simca, who did the artwork for this game, actually worked for Topps and did a lot of, and still does a lot of the Garbage Pail Kids cards, and so we thought it'd be kind of cool to include a couple of those. There's like a work in progress one, and this is it. On the back, it shows you the various City Hunter games that are out or coming out. We've done 4 so far, and this is actually third in kind of a trilogy. The prequel to this is called City Hunter and the Curse of the Mind. That is coming out for modern consoles, including the Switch, and that should be coming out later this year. And the very first game in the series is called City Hunter and the Sacred Tribe, and that is already out for the Intellivision, ColecoVision. We have plans to also port it to the MSX. It's coming out very soon for the Commodore 64. It's actually shipping out in about a week for that, both in floppy and cart. As far as this goes, we are creating versions for this for obviously Super Nintendo. We are doing an NES port, which is in development. We also are doing a Genesis port / Sega CD / Mega Drive. And the Sega CD version will have updated music, which points me to this. So this is a soundtrack by Ben Allen. He did an amazing job with the soundtrack. And it comes with all this track. But what's cool about this soundtrack is not just the games, the music in 16-bit. This is actually remastered, orchestrated music of the same songs that Ben did. We kind of think of like killer cuts for Killer Instinct when Nintendo did that. Same kind of thing where these are all remastered. And this is actually included, all this is included when you purchase it for a limited time. So we thought we'd include some stuff, and all the Kickstarter backers, we actually included that as well for free for them, for their patience. Here is the back of the box. See some screenshots. Here's the side. We try to stay pretty true to kind of what you typically see for Super Nintendo. Blaze Pro helped with the production of this, did an amazing job. Let's go and open this up. And you get a full page color manual. Talk about CollectorVision games. Startup screen, the controls. There's a password system. So there's actually 12 levels in the game. Normal mode includes 10 levels. You have to go to extra mode in the options to unlock the 2. And the 2 extra levels, kind of an Easter egg actually, is the 11th level is designed shaped like a K, and the 12th level is shaped like an S, so Kickstarter, kind of an Easter egg that we threw in there. And also under extras, there's our new enemies that we included, as well as boss fights. So these are just different items. Pineapple will give you a life. Different enemies included. Vince helped a lot with the artwork here for this, did an incredible job. Me and Vince worked on this manual. I did all the writing, I typed it up and all that. He did all the page layout and the artwork. Keith also helped with the artwork as well. Here's some credits. So a pretty small team. JF did programming, Jean-Michel did the programming, character designs by Keith, level designs by both Keith and JM, graphics Keith, music by Ben Allen, as mentioned before, Joe Simcoe artwork. I did a lot with the beta testing. Here's the scoring. Okay, so pretty cool. Here is a look at the cartridge itself. And no carts were damaged in making this game, no Super Nintendo. So these are all original carts that we did from scratch. So we didn't take old like sports titles and take off the label and replace those. So this is, we try to stay as true as possible. Very nice, high quality label. So yeah, pretty pleased on how the production quality turned out for this cart. All right, so let's plug this in and take a closer look. So I'm going to play this on my Super NT by Analog, so it is compatible with that new system just came out. Shout out to Blaze Pro, who again helped with the production of this game. Here's the intro, so you can get to watch it. So once the intro is over, you get to the title screen. You have a password, a start, and option menu. Option, there's two difficulty, easy and normal. For difficulties, game mode, extra, and original. You can choose your test music and kind of go through the sound effects. So basically, difficulties, the original is 10 levels, and the normal difficulty is 1 hit life. There's a password system, which is nice. So each time you pass a cavern or level, it gives you a password. You have a weapon here as your boomerang. So pretty basic attack. It will follow you wherever you are. There are certain items in the game that you get on these pedestals, and once you get a special item like this, the lava will start flowing. So at this point, it's going to be timed. So you gotta be careful with the lava. The difference between easy and original is that easy, you get 2 hits. So if you get hit once, you lose your hat, and then if you get hit again without a hat, you die. But there's also hats laying around, like there you see I just got hit, so I lost a hat. Here's another item, idle, and so the whole premise of each cavern is to get through each cavern. So it's kind of a puzzle platformer, so you have to kind of figure out where each idol is. And you'll notice one thing during some transitions when you go from screen to screen, you'll see like a split second, you'll see kind of a glitch out. That's a minor glitch. That's something that we are aware of, and some people have complained about that, or mentioned that rather. It's something we just couldn't honestly address because of the limited Super Nintendo devs that are available, the dev tools are available. We just couldn't address it, unfortunately. But It's not that noticeable. It doesn't happen every transition screen. It doesn't take away from any of the gameplay or anything like that, so it's not a major glitch, but it is there. If you hit select, you can just see a map of kind of which rooms you've been to once you slide down. Kind of cool. That right there to program took forever. Just so difficult to program for the Super Nintendo. It took months to try to program that just alone, or more than that even. So, but we figured it out, thankfully. You can also notice here it's kind of dark in some rooms. I can actually hit the left and right shoulder button and use a torch. Now you can see that the lava is actually rising up high enough where I don't need a torch to lit the room. So now I gotta hurry. What's kind of cool is if you hit the left shoulder button, you hold the torch with the right hand, or left hand. If you hit the right one, you hold it with the right hand. So it kind of depends on which shoulder button you use. We added the torch mechanic later on in the development. It originally wasn't going to be in the game, but there were some rooms that were so dark that just felt like we needed it. Their pineapples will give you health, so it's nice. So right now I have this special idol. I'm trying to figure out where it goes. I don't really know at this point. Well, if you haven't played it, you would know anyway. There it goes right here. It's hard to see, but against the wall there, you'll see like an outline of the idol, so you know. When you're playing on TV, it's a lot more clear than just on this capture device for some reason. Those ghosts take quite a bit of hits. It's all about timing where you jump. Here's a crystal skull. So I gotta find this too. Crystal skulls will always unlock the last door of each cavern. So now that I found I'm getting close. After level 4, you get to this auto-scroll kind of lava rising part of the game. These get longer and more difficult throughout the game. Fortunately, you can throw a boomerang while you're climbing it still. Oh, missed the jump. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing a hat or not. With lava, you automatically die. See the HUD menu at the very bottom? You have your lives, which round it is, 8. Now, what's kind of interesting with the extra level as well, the extra mode, you get 2 extra levels, which is really cool, and some new enemies that are not in the original mode. Oh, got hit by him again. Okay, 3rd time's a charm here. There's an Easter egg as well at the end of the game, or the last 2 levels. So the 11th level is shaped like a K, the level design. The 12th level is shaped like an S, so it's a Kickstarter, kind of an Easter egg that we put in the game. People probably won't notice it unless, you know, I mention something, unless you actually hit select and see the shape of it. I'm not doing so hot here. Yeah, this is kind of a hard part of the game. I can get that pineapple, but I'll pass on it. I'm getting to one of the bosses in the game. There's 3 bosses total. There's a boss at the end of level 4, end of level 8, and end of level 12, the final level. There's only an extra mode you get the bosses. I'm going to fight these guys first. Gotta time that jump right. So I don't spoil the pattern for this guy, but you can definitely get the idea what the boss looks like. Now I'm going to show you a comparison between the original soundtrack, one of the tracks, and then the remastered version on the CD. So overall, I'm very pleased with the way this game turned out. Team did an amazing job, in my opinion. However, I guess my one minor regret is I wish that the screen transition glitch was addressed. Unfortunately, with the limitations of the Super Nintendo dev tools available, we weren't able to address that. And even though we were aware of it, we weren't able to fix it. And people have been critical on that screen transition. I've read comments about people saying, oh, this game is glitchy, whatever. And look, I realize that having done this for a long time with YouTube and with CollectorVision games, I understand that there will be people who are critical. And that's totally fine. People are obviously entitled to their opinion. No big deal. But for me personally, considering that the game is from scratch, that we have a small team involved, I'm really happy with the way that's turned out. Look, if our goal was to make a ton of money on this game, honestly, we would have released this for Nintendo Switch, for modern consoles. We do have a Nintendo Switch dev system. In fact, we're coming out with a game for the Switch, as I mentioned before. But for us, we really appreciate the retro games, and we want to breathe new life into those classic consoles. So that's why we're making games for Super Nintendo, NES, Genesis, etc., so forth, because we want people to have the experience of playing a brand new game on those classic consoles. So it's a very niche market. Now, this is compatible with the Super NT by Analog, which I show you gameplay for here. Now, as far as the Retron 5 goes, I'll be honest with you, I do have a Retron 5. My Super Nintendo slot for my Retron 5 doesn't work for any game, not just this. So it's untested at this point. I'm not sure. If you do have this game, if you own this game, you have a Retron 5, please leave a comment below. Let me know if this game does work on your Retron 5. I'd be very curious to see if that's the case. But I've tested it on other clone consoles, and I haven't had any issues, including the handhelds, etc. So overall, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for your kind support. Whether you get the game or not, I really appreciate the kind words. I really appreciate the support. And we'll leave a comment below. Please subscribe. That shows me a lot, means a lot to me. And we'll see you guys soon. And of course, game on.